Alright, we are here in Game 3 of the DT vs. Adwins sets as part of Strive Celebration. Uh, Previous games were, I believe, Mei versus Akuma, from our side of the table. Akuma versus Mei, Akuma versus Ragna. Victories went to Mei and Akuma, respectively. DT is now switching to Ramlethal. I'm unsure if Adwins is required to run Ragna again, or is choosing to do so, because I didn't look up the tournament format, but it doesn't really matter. Either way, this is the match we got in front of us. Ramlethal versus Ragna. Alright, Ragna going first. It's pretty common in tournament formats for the loser of the previous game in a set to choose whether they want to go first in the next game. And most players and most characters in most matchups will prefer to go first. Here we are in Mulligan. Let's see, Ragnar the Blood Edge from Blaze Blue uses the Overdrive and Natural Heat mechanics. His Overdrive is a limited time exceed, so he'll pay 4 gauge, but then his exceed timer will run out as those cards are discarded from the Overdrive area. Astral Heat is a card that sits outside the deck. If he takes the manual reshuffle action, adds it to his hand instead of drawing from the top of his deck at the end of his turn. That's the only way to get it. Automatic reshuffle means you can't get it. That's the Astral Heat. Ramlethal, Guilty Gear Strive board game character, uses the cancel mechanic and also a different set of normals. Do we have a normals reference over there? We have one. I thought there was one. There it is. Yeah, alternate normal boosts. And then the cancelable mechanic here at the top. After you play a boost with the cancelable icon, you may spend 1 gauge before you cancel. If you do, take another action. So, alright, Ragna leads, boosts Revolver action. Sorry, I almost called it Gatling because that's what it's called in Strive, but this is a Blaze Blue character, so it's called Revolver action. Draws 2 plus 1 for end of turn. Has a hit gain advantage on the next attack. Turn passes back to Ramlethal. Ramlethal's ability, by the way, after setting, she may spend 2 force for +1 maximum range. Allows her to dominate the middle ranges with her big honking swords, because that's what Ramlethal does. There you go, sword. Striking, and are we spending? Yes, 2 force. Alright, that means that the range 3 mix-up is online here at range 4. So you can play a sweep, a dust, also known as spike, an assault, also known as slash, anything that would normally hit at range 4, of course. It's on Ragna to respond effectively. I believe she even has a range 1 to 5 special, Aggressor Ordona. Which would have to cross. Here's the slash, which comes in, hits at range 2, 4 power, and gains advantage. Ragna chooses to take 2 damage, makes sense. Ragna often is very slightly more comfortable at not 30 life than at 30 life, even if taking damage is something that, nobody especially wants to do. Because that way he can gain life when he hits the opponents. Alright, Ram's turn again, thanks to advantage, here at range 2. Now threatening such potent tools as range 2 grasp, is boosting Delayed Explosion, draw 2, +1 for turn, and have this hit effect, which telegraphs the grasp, in fact. Since you can push the opponent to the corner and then push them again with this effect to gain +2 power because they can't be pushed. Alright, Azure Kumar, paying probably 5 life to draw 5 cards. Probably spinning that block from gauge, yep, there it is. Love to see it. And take another action. Does he have the other copy? Probably not. I think we would have seen it by now. Might just be deciding what to spend, who knows. Yes. +2 speed. Oh, okay, going to discard. That's a little unusual. think we're waiting for interim draw. Yeah. Well, pick your favorite 7 cards out of those 10. Out of those 9. That makes sense. The cross is a little funny, but as long as you have access to things like Spike and Inferno Divider, then you can deal with the things that cross needs to deal with. Like, normally you would expect +2 speed to threaten cross most of all because it becomes above curve. Oh, the Ultra. That must have been a hard decision. Alright, turn passes back to Ramlethal. Ragna has now curated his hand. Which means it would be really funny to boost Scramble, even though I don't think that's necessarily correct. Scramble is the normal boost, which forces the opponent's Wild Swing. Bottom left, it's on focus. Oh, hey, there's a Scramble. Okay. So this is probably going to be the Grasp, or the Bayonetta, maybe? I don't know. It's cross at speed 6, that's an invalid, and that is the second sweep. Unfortunate for Ragna, he gets pushed 1, and then Ramlethal retreats 3, going out to range 6. Whoop, a little bit of lag there. And he did just lose, I believe, his second Carnage Scissors. Oh, how will Ragna get back in? He is not particularly functional at range 6. Neither is Ramlethal, but she is a little better than him. She has at least 1 special and 1 ultra that can hit at this range, if she uses her character ability to extend their ranges. She can also do a bit better than that if she... Oh, there we go. Oh. Lost EX Grasp. That is always a bit sad. And dropped an Assault, the on-curve range 3 option. That's interesting. I think we've now seen Assault and Dive both drop, which means Ragna is running a little thin on things that beat slows and mid-speeds at this range. Alright, +4 guard now spent up to 2 force. For each force spent, draw 2. Going back to a hand size, yep, of 6. Make it easier to afford that ability. And +4 guard to boot. And yeah, there's a... okay, no, you actually have to boost before you play this to hit at range 6. I forgot. Yeah. Because you need Brigadier Sword, cancel, character ability, Aggressor Dono. That's how you do it. Or that's a way to do it. Anyway. Yeah, so without meter, Ramlethal does not hit at range 6. Unless I've forgotten something. Anyway. We're not at range 6, we're at range 3. It's Ragna's turn. He has dropped a lot of cards and a lot of information into that discard pile. Which means that both players have a decent amount of information about what Ragna is not threatening. Oh, especially if this is an EX, which it is. Alright, there's a finite number of EXs remaining. I believe the telegraph here is Hell's Fang. Since we know a Gauntlet Hades was boosted, I don't remember if a Dead Spike was or wasn't, but Dead Spike also doesn't... Well, it's damage. Yeah, no, Dead Spike is pretty justifiable, actually. But Hell's Fang would grant advantage, which is why I would love to see a Hell's Fang. Not safe, mind you. It is on curve against a fully stocked Ramlethal, which means that she may well be able to play her second cross and extend its range to hit. She's also drawn a lot of cards lately, so she might be holding an EX that could stuff it. What's the reply? It's Aggressor Rodona again. It is Hellsfang. Okay, yep. This is gonna trade. So Ragna hits for 5. Because of the EX, gains 1 life. Pushes, gains advantage. Ramlethal is not stunned due to having 7 guard. Hits back for 3 after armor. Decides to retreat and add the top card of her deck to her gauge. Alright, now it's 3 gauge and therefore threatening Mortabato. It is Ragna's turn. Admittedly, if you have Grasp, you can probably just do that at range 2. Mortabato is mostly if you need range 3, speed 7. Also, unless you're in Exceed mode, it doesn't have a particularly useful power value. Like, 4 is nice, it's more than Grasp. 5 is a lot better. Regular old-fashioned strike. Oh, an EX response. Is this EX Mortabato? Because that sure would do it. Oh no, we have an extended range. Spinning Mortabato. EX Grasp. Yep. Speed 8 is more than speed 7. Ragna pays a force and loses the strike. Takes 4 damage. Yeah, Inferno Divider was there to beat 1 copy of Grasp, but not 2. Alright, Ramlethal prepared. Turn comes back to Ragna. Ragna has been pretty steadily losing mix-ups. That is his second cross. Alright, at least at close range he can exert some pressure. Ramlethal can't bully with her ability. This looks to me like the time that Ramlethal would choose to exceed. Abundant Gauge. And the opponent's in your face. That exceed cost is 3 gauge, but Ramlethal, when she exceeds, draws 3 cards if memory serves. Okay, choosing to prepare instead. Not going to exceed. Might want to throw the other Mortabato at some point. Might just be setting up some of her gauge recursion shenanigans using the boost any means. Sorry, necessary discrepancy. Necessary discrepancy. Why was I thinking any means necessary? That's no, totally different. Alright, Brownie takes the manual reshuffle action, drawing Black Onslaught into his hand instead of drawing for an turn. If Ram has block in hand, she will probably parry it, which she does, making Ragna sad. Ram draws for an turn, and it's now Ragna's turn. I was half expecting a Wild Swing there. I don't hate the Wild Swing selection at this point, although range 2 would be better. Ramlethal is out 1 Mortabato and 2 Grasps, which means that she's not as strong at range 2 as she would like to be. No, although preserving the gauge does kind of suggest, like I said, that she might want to be able to threaten Mortabato. Turn it back to Ram. Both players checking Ram's discard pile, perhaps contemplating a reshuffle on this side. Nope, we have Badass. Can you cancel? Canceling, and almost certainly striking. Might be exceeding, though. Preparing, okay. Huh. I'm not really sure what the plan here is. Do they just want to run Kilvados? Oh, I play a rather different looking Ramlethal, I think. Um, Alright, Azure Grimoire. Spin up to 5, draw that many cards. Probably spending 5. Oh, only 4. Okay. Take another action. I'm pretty surprised by that. I wonder what the math here is. Like, Ragna may be counting on, like, the number of times he trades and how much he trades for to not need a lower life total. He may simply have a particular follow play in mind and wants to end up at a particular hand size. Probably 7. I don't know. Rhino strikes, 1 card. Nothing fancy. Mix up here is fully intact. Writing's out of basically a fresh deck. Alright, 3 cards in discard. 1 ultra, or sorry, 2 ultras, because one's the Astral. And 1 other card, which I think was like a Gauntlet Hades or a Dead Spike or something. Response, no ability. Ooh! Calls it correctly. Dives out of the corner and over the slow. Ragna closes, but does not hit. That gets Ram out of the corner, and it denies Blood Scythe its very valuable hit effect. Not to mention the fact that Ragna would really love to trade blows here and rebuild some life. Faultless Defense. No cancel. I wonder what that implies. Feels like it implies Arrow Limo or possibly Slash. Here's the parry. The call is Cross. That's the second cross. Ragna draws for end of turn. Alright, Faultless goes to Gage. Turn passes back to Ramlethal. 4 gauge now, still no exceed. This does feel like it's a necessary discrepancy kind of setup. I don't know why else. Or a cancel chain. There's some fun stuff you can do by canceling multiple times in one turn. Or it's just a force bank, actually. I'm probably overthinking this. 1 card, no ability? Well, it's a clean mix-up, and you've got a hefty life lead. Ragna's the one who has to call this. Does he have the answer in hands? And does he write about what the answer is? In this sort of life situation, it suggests to me that she's playing this Ultra. Because to beat it clean, Ragna would have to respond with Spike, which most people don't do. Also push him back to range 4 and refund itself, and then some. Lots of ways to trade with that, though, and Ragna likes trading more than Ramlethal, so not sure if it's actually the play here, but that, to me, reads as the telegraph. Bayonetta, also fairly potent. Ragna would have to throw Inferno Divider or Cross to beat it clean. Basically any other response, and she gets advantage. Ragna feeling the pressure. I was looking at Daro, but that would be very unusual. Typically, Daro is used more as a reversal, more as something to play at longer ranges rather than right on top of the opponents. And it sees a little more use if you expect the opponent to try to cross out, which Ragna doesn't seem very likely to do here. If he even has crosses, I've lost track. No, he does, because he's not far into that deck. Made the call. Is it right? Well, let's trade. Inferno Divider is not going to beat that clean, it is going to trade. So, Calvados gets hit, Ragna needs to pay a force. Waiting for the force. There it is. Okay. Ragna hits for only 2 after armor. Ram goes to 23. So Ragna does gain 1 life at least. Then Ram hits back, pushes Ragna to the corner, and puts a card in discard from discard to gauge. Most likely an Ultra, since it looks like she's building a force bank. Ragna takes 4. And ends up against the wall. My money's on the other Calvados. Oh, no, it's Mordbana. Okay. Alright, that was Ramlethal's turn. Ragna unfortunately putting Inferno Divider to relatively inefficient use, since trading against a slow, especially when used on defense. Loses the reversal value of being able to stun something, and the power value of initiating. It's a little sad. Alright, you're at range 4. Ragna still has access to mix-ups. Rams are obviously more dangerous here, especially if she's holding EX Bayonetta. Ragna moving 2 spaces, going back to range 2. Makes sense. Focus, Inferno Divider, and Spike are all relevant answers to various things that Ramlethal could be playing. Investigating Ram's discard pile. This might mean every shuffle is coming up. Might just be looking on principle. Ram's turn, here at range 2. I think Mortabado's still online. I was expecting Exceed a while ago, so I no longer think that that's even, like, in the cards, as it were. I think she wants to boost necessary discrepancy and then start chucking attacks non-stop. Hey, look. Yep, with 1 Inferno Divider down, this telegraphs a cross out to range 5, so that then you can play a Calvados from range 5, or a Bayonetta with force. Second action. Striking. One. Okay, while spending on ability suggests that it's likely to be something like Grasp. However, she has enough force that she can probably afford to spend even on a mix-up. So this could be, for example, Dust. That was the cross after all. Yep, and threatening the Grasp did kind of encourage the Focus to get played, which means it won't be available when it's really needed. Ragna now here at range 5, where Ramlethal is threatening at least Calvados, that is known to be in hand. Getting bullied by the swords. And with no gauge, which I'm actually not sure where the gauge went. I don't remember. There was an Inferno Lighter engage at some point. I'm guessing it got spent in the walk action. Formerly known as the move action. Read up to the walk action during Season 7. That is the Guilty Gear Strive season. Mainly to free up the move keyword for what it used to be used for, which is Advanced Retreat. Alright, well, we're Ragna at range 5 without 2 gauge, which means we're not especially happy about our life right now. I imagine Cross is not available, or we would have seen it boosted already to run in. I'll just turn that off for now, because I'm not sure if my mic is picking it up. Perry? Probably one of the known cards. Probably Cavados. What about Botto? Huh. But why? Just to prevent the loop after the Cavados hits? Oh. Okay. Yeah, Ramlethal doesn't even feel pressure to initiate right now. It's just going to boost a late explosion. Maintain a threatening hands. Maybe draw into Bayonetta. Okay, +1 power, +2 armor. Mitigate the lost case of the upcoming strike. Kind of feels to me like that means a Dead Spike, or possibly Gauntlet Hades. Probably Dead Spike is coming up, where Ragna is expecting to get hit, but then close in afterwards. No, well, no ability? So, wait. That, hmm, that form. Oh, they tried to play Calvados with no gauge. Okay. They're instead spending on Aggressor Dono, which wins the speed tie, hits, pushes 1, and closes or retreats 1. This is not going to stun, it's only dealing 2 after armor. Alright, Ram closes in. Oh, there's a Bayonetta. Yep. So, 4-2. Yep. And a Carnage Scissors down, that is sad. Alright. Oh, hey, there's the run. Made it back in. Well, Graham's turn. Range 2. I think a grasp is in hand, but I could be wrong. I know the cross was used, the Mortabato was discarded, the Calvados was discarded. I'm not sure. Fortunately, it's not my concern. Huh. Okay. Reshuffle. I was kind of expecting a change cards there, but I guess they like what they have. Ragna here at range 2. I personally probably just be Wild Swinging. It's my favorite range, and Ramlethal is a little thin on resources. Of course, I'm known to be a madman who is perfectly willing to run probability attacks. After all, if the thing you need isn't in your hand, it's in your deck. Though, without knowing what cards Ragna has in hand, we can only speculate as to how interesting a decision he has in front of him. Could be a very interesting, very spicy set of attacks and boosts. Initiating, and Ramlethal is spinning for her ability. So does she have the grasp? She does. There's the Gauntlet Hades, makes sense. So she's going to pull him 1, almost certainly. Because any other configuration will result in him hitting her. Oh, no, she could pull 2 instead. Yeah, so he will advance 1 or 2, probably 1. Yeah. Yeah, because if it jumps over, it does not hit. Makes sense to me. Alright. Ram's turn. Two cards in hand, 2 gauge. 21 life lead. Surely it's strike or change cards? Prepare. Okay. Comfortable enough in her footing to allow Ragna the initiative. Which is fair. Ragna definitely is in dire straits. He can no longer really afford to make a bad trade, because if he trades, he almost certainly dies. And as Ramlethal draws into her reshuffle, she is likelier and likelier to build something unbeatable, like an EX, like this, maybe? Yeah, I think that actually is unbeatable here. Ragna hits, gains 1 life, deals 3 damage, and Subrabato, I guess he could have played Dive, but that's not exactly winning, is it? Oh no, Grasp. Yeah, Grasp would have beaten it. She didn't spin Force. At any rate, he dies. Good game. Huh, Dive was there. That's funny. Alright, that's the set. I'll stop recording here.